Hi there YouTube friends, welcome back to another episode of Auntie A's Kitchen. If you're new to this channel, hi there, 안녕하세요, welcome to everybody. Wherever you are watching, I hope you are having a safe week. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amanda and I love sharing with people simple and delicious recipes that you can cook here in South Korea using South Korean ingredients. A lot of people these days are stuck indoors with this virus and some of my friends have been asking me, please give us some more recipes and ideas of what we can cook while we are at home. So this is for you. As the thumbnail suggests today, I'm going to be cooking chicken parmesan, but two ways. Please make sure to watch this video all the way through, as I'm not only going to be sharing some tips, I'm also going to be sharing some alternate ingredients that you could use to make this recipe. In the first part of the video, I'm going to be sharing a traditional chicken parmesan, and I like to eat it with pasta. And in the second part of the video, I'm going to be sharing with you a delicious lunch idea, which is quick to make chicken parmesan sandwich. You're gonna love today's video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me show you today chicken parmesan two ways in South Korea.
If you want to make your own tomato sauce from scratch, then check out this video above. But today, to save time, I'm going to use a shop-bought tomato sauce, and you will see I will add a few extra ingredients, some onions, tomatoes and basil to add flavour depth and texture. I season with some salt and pepper and cook until the onions are soft and the tomatoes are broken down. At this stage you could use any tomato sauce you have, or even a tin of chopped tomatoes. I add half a jar and then I get this all mixed in. I personally like my tomato sauce to be chunky and to have substance. If you don't, then either cut up your onions small or put your tomato sauce through a blender at the end. The last two ingredients I add, some garlic and some basil. Use whatever fresh or dried herbs you have, both work well. Get all of this mixed in and allow it to simmer for about 20 minutes so that the flavours can combine and the sauce can thicken up. I transfer it into a smaller pan so it can finish cooking and I can use the wok to cook my chicken. For the breadcrumbs, I like to use a baguette as it's extra crunchy, but you could just use panko breadcrumbs if you don't want to make your own. I beat up an egg and some flour. I add some salt and pepper to the flour, and because we're making parmesan chicken, I add a handful of that parmesan we just grated to the breadcrumbs. Some people like to add it on top, I like to add it in with the breadcrumbs. Then I season with salt and pepper. Next I get some canola oil into my wok heating up and I throw in some salt into my water. Once my water starts to boil, I add my pasta, which will take about 8 to 10 minutes. To ensure that your chicken cooks evenly, I recommend that you flatten it out with anything you have heavy to hand. I like to place it in a plastic bag as this saves on mess. The next stage is covering our chicken. First I place the chicken into the flour, make sure it's completely covered, then shake off any excess before placing it into the egg mixture. Once again, I cover it completely, shake off any extra, and then place it into my breadcrumbs. Make sure to thoroughly cover your chicken with the breadcrumbs. As you can see here, I really press the breadcrumbs into my chicken. I try to use only one hand and keep the other one clean. Once it's covered, I place it onto a plate and repeat this procedure with my second piece of chicken, from the flour into the egg and then finally into the breadcrumbs. I stick a wooden spoon into my oil. Little bubbles tell me it's ready, so I place my chicken into the pan away from me so that it does not splash oil onto me. Each side will take about 4 to 5 minutes to cook. You're looking for each side to be golden brown. My pasta's finished cooking, so I drain it from the water but keep it in the pan so that it stays warm. My first piece of chicken is ready, so I place it on a wire rack so that it stays crispy and that any oil can drain off. I then remove any excess breadcrumbs from the oil and cook my second piece of chicken in exactly the same way as the first. As my second piece of chicken is cooking, I heat up the tomato sauce that we prepared earlier and I make sure to stir it occasionally. The chicken looks fantastic, so I get it onto the rack to drain of oil and get on with the final preparations. I'm using 2 small dishes, but you could just use one big dish. I place some of my tomato sauce on the bottom, then I place my chicken and then another spoon of tomato sauce. You will notice I don't cover my chicken with sauce, I only place some in the middle. This will help my chicken stay crispy and not go soggy. The last thing I do is add some cheese. Today I'm using grated mozzarella and a little bit of that leftover parmesan from earlier. To melt the cheese, I then place my chicken parmesan under the grill. For those of you who are watching who don't have an oven or a grill, then just place your chicken into a pan with a lid, throw a drop of water under the lid and the steam will melt the cheese. You can serve chicken parmesan with any side, but I personally think it goes really well with some pasta. To plate up, I place some pasta on a plate, then some tomato sauce with my chicken on top. You want to make sure that you have a good serving of tomato sauce so that it lightly covers the pasta when mixed. I finish with a sprinkling of ground pepper, and if I had some fresh herb, I would add that. This is a delicious and easy meal to make. You have a wonderful combination of both flavours and textures, and as you can see here, as I cut open my chicken, it's perfectly moist inside. This is the perfect meal to make family and friends, so please now go and have fun with this recipe. And don't forget to drop me a message once you've made it. Stick around as I'm going to quickly show you an alternate recipe that you can make using this chicken parmesan. In exactly the same way as we did the first recipe, I prepare the chicken parmesan into the flour, then the egg, and finally into the breadcrumbs seasoned with parmesan cheese and salt and pepper. When making a chicken parmesan sandwich, I like to make a quick simple garlic sauce that will lay underneath the chicken. It's real simple to make. Into a bowl, I add a clove of garlic, some plain yogurt, season this with some salt and pepper, add a little onion powder, and finally some chopped parsley. Mix all of the ingredients together and don't forget to have a final taste. Once your oil comes up to temperature, place your chicken inside and remember to stir your tomato sauce occasionally. After 4 to 5 minutes, turn your chicken over until golden brown. Place some of your tomato sauce into your dish, then your chicken, some more tomato sauce, then cover with mozzarella cheese and get it into your oven under the grill so that the cheese can melt. Use any bread you have, but today I'm using some bread from my local bakery. I cut it in half and then get it in the pan to crisp up. I throw in some of my homemade garlic herb butter and I'll leave a link in the description below. And I wait for the bread to soak up all that butter and to crisp up nicely. I get the chicken parmesan out the oven and it's time to make the sandwich. Onto our crispy garlic-infused bread, I add some more garlic sauce, then I add our tomato sauce and parmesan chicken. Layer upon layer of deliciousness. I can't wait to eat this sandwich. I cut this chicken parmesan sandwich in half so that it is not only more manageable, but so that you can see how moist and perfectly cooked this chicken is. You're gonna have to take my word for it until you make this for yourself, but it was adieu mashaseo, so delicious. This chicken parmesan sandwich, served with a side salad, is the perfect lunch. You could even make the chicken the day before and just heat and crisp it up before you serve it. Thanks for watching today. Please now take these 2 recipes and have fun and put your own twist on them. See you in the next video. God bless. Chop bok hamnada.